Thank you. So it seemed as though safety first was really important around the American consulate in Adana, Turkey. And I know that because I lived there for 2 years. My dad was in the Foreign Service, and his first post was in Turkey. And Turkey is an amazing, vibrant, colorful, intimidating country when you are an 11-year-old me. And it's quite unusual to live in the same building as a consulate or an embassy, but it happened in this instance. The apartment building was full of the relatives of the most successful Turkish industrialist, but then 4 apartments were rented out to the US government. One was the actual offices of the consulate, and then 3 upstairs apartments housed the 3 employees of the consulate, my father included. And so coming home to home was strange. Because it was surrounded with this massive gate, and you had to go through this whole security system, and there were men everywhere around my building with machine guns. And if you entered with your car, they had to lower the spikes down first so that your tires wouldn't pop, and then they would open the gate, and then they would check under your car with mirrors to see if you were bringing any bombs into the parking garage. So it was sort of this strange, intense experience as an 11-year-old. Now, the reason there is a consulate in Adana, Turkey, is because just outside of town, about 30 miles away, there's an American Air Force base. And that also has high security. But once you get through security on that Air Force base, you're no longer in beautiful, colorful, amazing Turkey. You're in sort of like weird, maybe suburban Arizona or something. I'm not quite sure. It's like airlifting a little bit of America and dropping it down, and the houses all look the same, and everything's very bland, and there's a Burger King, and there's a pizza joint, and there's a bowling alley, and then there's the school that my brother and I went to. Most of the students at the school all lived on the Air Force Base, but there were a couple other American students that lived downtown with my brother and I, and so there was a school bus that would take us to school every day. And my brother, for an unknown reason, I'd have to ask him why he had it. He had a bocce ball set that he needed to return to somebody that he borrowed. There was no place to play bocce ball around the apartment. There was no patch of grass big enough to do that. There was plenty of room for places to sacrifice lambs, which occasionally happened, but there was no place to play bocce ball. And so he had this this game, and it's got the balls in it, and then it's just this wooden unmarked box. And he leaves it on one of the flower planters outside of our building as we're waiting for the school bus, and then he forgets about it, and then we get on the bus and we go on with our day. And one of the men with machine guns finds a wooden unmarked box outside of the American consulate building, and he does what you are supposed to do, which he calls the bomb squads in. So I'm not sure how many of your tax dollars my brother wasted by leaving that box there. But, the American bomb squad from the Air Force Base is deployed into town, but they're about 30 miles away. And what we're told protocol is that they will take anything that is a suspected bomb out into the middle of nowhere, and they will blow it up preemptively, sort of, blow the thing that might be a bomb up before it can blow you up. It's an efficient way, I think, probably an expensive way to deal with an object, but not a good way for the person who wants their bocce ball set to get it back. So luckily for the rightful owner of the bocce ball set, the Turkish local bomb squad gets there first. I don't know how many cities have a local bomb squad, but Adana, Turkey did. And how their protocol goes is when they see something that might be a bomb, they try to figure out if it is a bomb by tying it with a piece of rope to the back of their truck and driving it down the street. And so if it explodes, it was a bomb. And if it doesn't, they'll investigate further. So they do that just down the street of a metropolitan city. There's, people walking everywhere. There's bread sellers. There's residences. There's businesses. And it is right outside the American consulate, where apparently it only seems as though safety is first. Thank you.